Welcome to the Jobs and Work podcast. If you're like most Americans, you spend a significant amount of your time working. In fact, we spend more time at our jobs than anywhere else. But how often do we really talk about work in America? On this podcast, the Work for Change team will. Work for Change, LLC is a team of social scientists, thought leaders, and digital storytellers who dig into the critical issues affecting American workers and workplaces today. Our podcast is co-hosted by Dr. Kendra Jason and myself, Dr. Chris Maycumber. We'll also bring guests onto the show who reflect the diversity of the American workforce. We are so excited for you to join us as we lead the efforts to humanize the workplace by building dignity and equity into jobs, work, and organizations. Please subscribe to the podcast and share us with your friends and family. You can learn more about Work for Change at workforchangellc.com.
Welcome to the Jobs and Work podcast. This is host Kendra Jason. This is episode 27. We have our small business feature today. We have with us today Justin Surgeon. Welcome to the podcast, Justin.
Thank you for having me. I'm very grateful to be here.
You're welcome. You know what, Justin, I've known you for a long time. You're an artist, you're a muralist. Like, you're the only muralist I think I know. You're a web designer. You are like a creative. Yeah, you're creative at heart. So, one thing I like to start with is just asking, how did you come into your artistry?
Well, I came into my artistry. I've always been able to draw. That was like a God-given gift that I've always had. Yeah. But I didn't start actually, creating art seriously until 2015. Yeah. So I got into an accident in 2015, in March of 2015. I actually got my arm ran over by a bus. This arm right here. Yes. Wow. So I still have it. Glory to God. And my art career kicked off after that. It was really, missing my passion. Really, that's how I got back into it. And art became my liberation. It allowed me to feel like myself again. And it literally put me in a position where that was my livelihood. You know what I mean? So I didn't necessarily quit my job to become a full-time artist or anything like that. I was kind of pushed into that space, and God has made a way for me. So I'm definitely grateful for that.
Wow, that's like an amazing story. So I'm just curious, is the arm that was injured, is that your dominant arm, or was
Yes, I am right-handed. So initially I couldn't use my arm at first. They were gonna literally cut my arm off. That's what they said, from the elbow down. And the doctor that saved my arm, he came in and looked at it and said that I still had ligaments and all that stuff attached. So he told them not to cut it off. And that saved my life, honestly. So yeah, definitely grateful.
Wow, that's amazing. I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I don't think we ever talked about that, but yeah, definitely.
I mean, I knew bits and pieces, but I didn't know the whole thing. And so that's really amazing, and it's motivating. It's so encouraging, that just a side note, that somebody in the medical field took a second look at you. Yes. And said, somebody may have recommended, let's just cut it off. But someone, took that extra step and, to, like you said, not just save your arm, but like save your life,
Exactly.
You live through art. Like that's what I know.
Yes.
So I've known Justin for a long time. And when I first met you, I didn't know you were an artist. I was like, you're just like a really cool guy, real laid back, real kind. And, and then I found out you did art. But now I think of you as the artist who's like a really kind guy, because I feel like artist has like eclipsed everything, that I thought I knew about you. And so, so tell us about the murals, because I think I follow Justin on Facebook and social media. And I think you said you just got into murals quite recently. So how did that happen?
It's been about 2 years since I've been doing murals. So that was I always admired muralists. I love going to see art and things of that nature. So just to see it blown up on a bigger scale, I've always wanted to get into that. So that was one of my biggest goals. When I got deep into the art scene out here in Charlotte, And I've dove into it now, and I've traveled and done murals. And it's been a great experience just to express myself on that level, and to have people trust me to come and do walls in their businesses and things of that nature. So yeah.
Now I know it was exciting for you to like scale up to murals, but was it scary in any sense of the word?
Yes, it was actually.
I would think so.
It's not like doing a canvas. Like, I feel like a canvas, you can mess up and wait for it to dry and then paint over it. But with murals, you really have the timing is way different. I can't just take my time all the time. Like, we have deadlines and things of that nature. So it definitely was scary, but it's definitely allowed me to grow and, meet new people and all that type of stuff. So I'm definitely grateful for diving into that lane of the artistry.
All right. So you go by the artist name Enigma, right?
Yes.
So you can also find Justin, AKA Enigma's contact information below. I have his social media tags there, so you can follow him and buy his products. You offer products to purchase. They want to commission you for murals. But how did you come to that name? That's pretty unique.
The name is directly tied into my testimony and what happened to me. So the word Enigma, I spell it with an I, but Webster and Merriman spell it with an E. But the word it means mysterious, or something that's like hard to explain. You know what I mean? So that, I feel like that tied directly into, like I said, it tied directly into my testimony and what happened to me. So Enigma, what happened to me, getting ran over, it's hard to explain, and it's hard for people to grasp that, and just be like, like, how are you doing what you're doing right now? So I felt like it just, that I just really grasped onto that word and the term and what it means, you know what I mean? So I feel like it represents me, and still to this day, when I tell people the story, just like I just told you, you're like, what? You know what I mean? So yeah, I really feel like the word Enigma, it represents what I've been through and represents my journey. So that's why I chose that name.
That's dope. Yeah. I mean, I think, it's your name, but I do really feel like it represents like that whole, the mystery. I think the mystery is even deeper. Like, why did you get this is a rhetorical question. It's not why, but it's like, how did you get hit by a bus, and then how did this, turn into this thing? I mean, you may not be the artist that you are today if you didn't get hit by a bus.
Exactly.
You know what I
mean? Initially, I, of course, I went through a stage in a phase where I was, depressed, and it was a lot of negativity. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
A lot of negative thoughts. I didn't feel like myself. I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do that made me feel like Justin. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm right-handed. So for a while I was writing, I had to teach myself how to write left-handed and do everything left-handed. So I wasn't in the best mental state, especially after it first happened. I was just going to rehab and things of that nature. And when I gained the strength back, that's when I started, I was writing my ABCs every day, you know what I'm saying, trying to get my strength back in my arm. And then I tried to draw something I have a kitchen table, actually. I still have it. But that's what I started drawing on initially, with Sharpies and stuff like that. So
okay.
I did that for like 2 weeks, and it was just like, wow, like I can draw again. You know what I mean? And it's been up ever since then.
What do you like to draw? Like, what do you feel like you're known for as an artist?
People ask me that all the time. That's crazy. Okay. I like to draw a lot of different things. Like nowadays I paint all types of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I have some cornhole boards in here right now that I'm doing for somebody. But I do portrait. I like to do portraits. That's what I've been working on, trying to get better at the past couple of years. So that's been my aim. But of course, doing walls and things of that nature. I do cartoons. I paint clothes, shoes, anything that'll hold paint. You know what I mean? So yes.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen your artwork. Like I said, I've been following you for years on social media. I've seen some of your murals live, and I'm just like blown away. I mean, y'all artists, I'm not a creative. I'm not an artist. I'm a structured person. I need lines. I live within those lines. It served me well. But my daughter is a creative, you're a creative, and the thing is like y'all just think differently. Right? It's just like it's like a world of possibilities. It's like you don't see a wall, you see a canvas, literally.
Yes.
And it's just a really different way. And I've always, because I think differently, I've always appreciated and really value that perspective of looking at things, because I'm sure that you don't just look at canvas in that way. It shapes the way you look at life in general.
Definitely. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and so now what people do not know is that Justin designed Work for Change's website. And so Work for Change was launching, like I said, I actually, because I know you on a personal level, and I know like last year you were like underemployed trying to figure things out.
Mm-hmm.
And you got your web design certification. I may say this wrong, you can say it better, but I'm like, hey, I'm starting a business, let's do it.
What's up? Yeah.
Beautiful work, the number 4 change LLC.com.
Hey.
You designed our website. So tell us about that, because you're not just talented in the in the paint arena. You take that art in different areas. So tell us a little bit more about the other things you do.
So last year I took a course to become a full stack Java developer. And that course ended in December. So I got my certificate and all of that good stuff. And you all were the first clients that I had. So shout out to y'all for giving me a chance. Really appreciative for it. I've worked with multiple clients since then. So that really, that was a spring into where I'm trying to go, definitely. But yes, I do love the, web development, being a full stack developer. I just love to create, you know what I mean? Yeah. So being in that realm, it's definitely challenging, but I do love it. Yes, definitely. So I'm grateful to have worked with y'all, and that put me in a space where I felt like I could continue to do what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, you were great to work with because you were super patient. I'm into this game of like small business ownership, and I was like, I don't even really know where to start. And, you kind of just laid some things out and just made it really simple. And you were very attentive to like, oh my God, I don't think this is working well. You was like, give me a second, and you fixed it right away. So I mean, that's really cool. I think like, North Carolina is blessed to have you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
all these different realms. So I can't help but notice. So you have this awesome picture behind you. Is that LeBron?
Yes. This is my first oil painting, actually. Yes. So I did this probably about 2 or 3 years ago when I first started. I was, originally I was using acrylics, and I wanted to get into the oil. So I reached out to some of my friends that do oil painting, and they helped me, get into it. And this was my first oil painting that I did. Yeah. And, I've probably have like 100 of these more since then, oil paintings and things of that nature. But I still have it for a reason, because this was my first one. So I got to hold on to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So one thing I want to, let people know who, once you start, click and follow Justin on social media. Like when you do celebrity photos, people are like, man, that's dope. That's cool. That's, whatever. But I've seen you do some portraits.
Yes.
And the response from people when they see themselves, I done shed a couple tears watching those things. So how do you feel? And you've also presented your work of celebrities and athletes to themselves. So how do you feel like when your muse actually gets to see themselves in your eyes in that way? What does that make you feel like?
It's a great feeling, honestly, because the reaction, that's what you look for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To see how they react to your work. So luckily I've had some great reactions over the years, and hopefully I continue to get those reactions. But it's definitely gratifying to see that, and it's kind of like a stamp on saying that you're doing it the right way. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's a great feeling.
Yeah, one of my favorite portraits that you did was of Chadwick Boseman after like it was so soon after he had passed away. And it was just like I saw all these dedications for him, and I really, you know, appreciate him as a person and an artist in his own right. But it's like when I saw you do it, like, like local homeboy, like dude next door level, it actually felt like it brought memory of that person closer, because it felt more intimate coming from you versus coming, you know, from Hollywood or you know, Disney or whoever. And so I just, like I said, I just watched those you know, those unveils, and people, you know, cry, jump up and down. And so if you're looking for a gift for someone or a mural, that's the dude right there. So what do you have coming up? Like what's next on the horizon for you?
I'm really just working on commissions right now. I'm actually working on a website right now as well for a company called Destination Detail. They're based out of Charlotte. They detail cars and things of that nature. The owner, I actually grew up with him. He's like a big brother to me. We went to the same high school and stuff like that. So that's what I'm working on right now. I just recently finished working on the House of the 90s Museum, home of the 90s Museum. It's located in Concord, North Carolina. Okay. So if you get a chance, go check it. You've actually seen it. So whoever watches this, you know, if you get a chance, go check it out. Shout out to Jessica Jones and Camille, the whole team out there. So yeah, that's what I've been working on the past couple of months, and I'm just trying to stay consistent right now. So
yeah, you like so downplayed your role in the House of the 90s. Look, y'all, I like this. This is not like Jessica's promo. Go to the House of the 90s in Concord and check out. You were the creative director. That's a huge deal. Right?
Yes,
you're the creative director, and I mean, like I told you when I was there, it's not just wall to wall, it's ceiling to floor. They left no area untouched. This is a full immersive experience. And I just like, again, give shout outs to you for like, you know, having, and I know you worked with her before, you know, but having that vision and expanding it to that way. I mean, you know, when we went, I went because I knew Justin, like grand openings, like come on, let's support the brother.
Go check it out, yeah.
But when we got there, we had straight up fun. I think we ended up spending like an hour just enjoying that, that experience that you helped create. And then you brought it home. I mean, you and, of course, Jessica and the other business partners, you have it right here in Concord, North Carolina. Is really unique. It's really dope. They can find, our audience can find information on that. Also, you get commission. I mean, it sounds like it's a good time.
Yes, definitely is. Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot different from a year ago.
Exactly. Yes. Pandemic, you gotta grow through it. Definitely.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for that time for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I experienced the same thing with Work for Change, where the vision grew. It was inspired in a sense by the pandemic, where it's like the pandemic forced change. It forced you to make moves. It forced you to, get uncomfortable. And for some people, that pushing, pushed us in some really creative, innovative, fun spaces. I mean, not for everybody, but for for me and you, that's our story. That's
exactly.
Right? And so I always try to encourage people, with Work for Change. We offer a starting your own business workshop. We actually have our next one coming up in September 18th. And on that one, we're actually going to break it down and really help you figure out, what makes your business, putting you, not reproducing what everybody else does, but what makes you being a painter or artist yours versus everybody else. And I think that's really, really important, that you have that branding and you understand your vision and you have clarity for yourself. And sometimes when you get started, I'm sure just you can speak to this, when you get started, you don't have all the answers. You hardly have no answers.
Exactly.
You're just like, I want to do this. I'm gonna talk to some people and put some things together. If you stay dedicated and just because Justin, you had your Enigma web page up for
it's been about, I launched on July 4th of 2020. So it's been right over a year. Yes, it's been right over a year.
Of 2020. And then like a year later, you like, this commission artist that we can't reach. We gotta get on your schedule for your next project.
Yes.
So one thing, I always, ask our small business owners, for people who are watching and they are like, I want to do something too. I have this dream, I have this vision, I have something in my gut, something in my spirit, I want to do it. And they're hesitant, right?
Yeah.
They're waiting on something. What advice would you have for that person who has that seed, but hasn't walked that path yet?
The main advice I would give them, try to find somebody that's doing what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And reach out to them. A lot of people that I know that are entrepreneurs and have small businesses, it's kind of like a stigma that people think, people won't help you or things of that nature. But it's a difference between asking for help and asking for a handout. You know what I mean? So I've learned that as well. So, I reach out to a lot of people still now, you know what I'm saying? If I have any questions or, what type of paint did you use or what application did you use to make this or whatever the case may be, like people are very willing to help you as long as they see that you're trying to help yourself. You know what I mean? So that fear, I feel like the fear of trying to start, I don't think that's a bad thing either. You know what I'm saying? You need to kind of be fearful. You know what I mean? That's going to push you to do what you need to do at the end of the day. So I feel like you should embrace that fear. And like I said, reach out to people, seek the knowledge that you need. It's a lot of resources out here. If you want to grow in a certain area, like I didn't know how to do oil painting. I didn't know how to do, portraits like I wanted to, but YouTube is available. People that, you know what I'm saying? Like you can literally, I am a YouTube graduate, I would say. I'm always on there trying to, find out what's going on and trying to gain new knowledge and things of that nature. So people, I just feel like, you got to step out there. If you're an artist or if you have a product that you have to, upload content all the time, do that. You know what I mean? Like the more people see your stuff, the more likely that you are to have, clients and customers and things of that nature. So don't be afraid to put your stuff out there. Embrace all the criticism. You got to grow somehow. That's the best way to grow. You know what I mean? So
that's excellent advice. And it's a really good tip because I've learned that as well, that people are more than willing to help. I mean, it's like people like come on board, like, you ready? Let's go, let's do it. And like, I don't know why we have this idea that, people aren't going to help us. I think a part of it is reaching out beyond your circles and finding communities of support and things like that. Work for Change can help you with that as well.
Yes.
But I think that's a really, really good encouragement to know, like, when you go on this venture to start your own business or whatever your venture is, it's not even, it can be bigger or smaller than starting your own business. Know that there are people who are genuinely willing to help you and want to see you successful and happy in whatever your vision is. It's so amazing. And just like, I reached out to Justin reached out to, like, it's a community that you build.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know nothing about art and building web pages, but you sort of like-minded people, find each other and help each other. And so I've found that as such an encouraging and just beautiful part of this journey of, being an entrepreneur, a small business owner, and trying to help people, grow their own businesses. And so
definitely,
I don't want to take up much more of your time, but I just want to say, thank you so much. When we started Work for Change, of course, like Justin was on the front end, like on the development side, and I thought like way early on to have you on the podcast, but it's just timing is so immaculate because looking like what's going on in your life like right now versus if I would have asked you back in January, I mean, you probably like, I got some things on, but now, sometimes you can't tell what you're working on, but now you're like, yo, we finished the museum, you can come and I'm ready to commission some art and all those kind of things. So again, I'm just so proud of you and happy about your success. I'm glad that you joined us this morning.
Thank
and again,
you.
For those who are listening and watching, you can contact Enigma. Go down right below. You can see his social media outlets. You can also find Work for Change social media outlets. And just again, with Work for Change, you can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and of course you find us here on YouTube. So please like, subscribe, and share so that we can work to make the world of work better. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you very much.